I'm going to take a drink of water because I know there's going to be an edit at this exact spot. Greetings and welcome to Reckoned Opinions. My name is Adam and it has been a while. It has been a very long while. Hi, how's it going? What's new? Wife and kids. I wanted to come on here today because it has been a while, and I wanted to talk a little about the channel, where it's been, where it's going. I have a couple of announcements that I wanted to make, and hopefully answer one or two questions, by which I mean one question, the question: are you ever going to finish the 90s alternative countdown? If I had $1 for every time I've asked that, I wouldn't have to worry about the fact that this channel isn't monetized. We're going to start there because I think that's going to lead into everything else. This video was very nearly called Top 10 Reasons Why the Countdown Isn't Done. So let's get this out of the way first. If you're a newer subscriber and you came in because of the supercuts, like the Criterion Collection mega edits and so on, and you're not familiar with the countdown I'm talking about, the countdown was the very first project I undertook on this channel. It was an on-screen thing like we're doing here, 15 parts, ranking every single song to hit #1 on the Billboard Modern Rock charts, the alternative charts in the 1990s, from worst to first. Like I said, 15 episodes, 14 and a half if we're being technical, because 145 songs in all. And I finished 13 of those episodes, and then nothing for over a year. People have been waiting a very long time. A lot of you have been waiting a very long time. I know I have been waiting a very long time too, because I also miss it. When I started this channel, this was supposed to be an on-camera channel. This kind of material. I was going to be Todd in the Shadows. You know, I was going to be Diamond X Studios. It was going to be something like that, coming on and giving my top 10 whatever, and hopefully being entertaining and amusing and interesting about it. Over time, this started to get taken over by supercuts and editing projects, to the point now where that's basically all that's happening. That wasn't my intention at the beginning. Very early on, I had a couple supercuts like that on my personal channel that I decided to move over at a time when my regular content was going to be late. And eventually that just became all of it. And there are reasons for that. And I think the big one is that doing on-camera stuff is hard. And I don't mean that the problem is it's too difficult and I don't want to do it. It's that I wasn't making the material that I wanted to make. You will often hear people talk about when you start a new hobby, because it's something that you're interested in and fascinated with and enjoy. When you start, your level of taste and your standards are way up here because that's why you're interested in it, but your abilities are way down here. And you have to live with the fact that there's going to be that gap until you get better, presuming that you get better. And that is what I ran into when I was making those videos. The very first few were very rough because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was using the jankiest equipment possible. I wish I'd gotten a picture of my setup because it was ridiculous. I had my laptop on a table, like practically hovering over my lap right here, and a $20 webcam and an even cheaper microphone, and dangling precariously on the corner of the laptop screen, just barely off camera. And then I would take this stuff that was lit entirely by the sun outside and whatever lamps are on in the room, and edit it together in Camtasia, which is fine software, but it has its limitations. And that's what I was working with. And that was fine because, again, I was new. This was something I was learning. But the problem is it didn't get better. It got better, but it didn't. It didn't approach where I wanted to be. It didn't approach the sort of stuff that I wanted to be making. It didn't look like I wanted it to look. And a lot of that was my choice of equipment, and all of that is improved. I've switched to using my phone. The iPhone camera has gotten good enough that that's indistinguishable from a low-end consumer-grade video camera. I have a microphone that I can wear, so I don't have to worry about that whole business. It's not great, evidenced by the fact that this is the second time I filmed this because it quit out at the beginning of the last time I tried. I have external lighting that I'm using right now, and I'm switched to using Adobe for my editing. You know, everything is better. And the last video I made for the countdown looked terrible. For my opinion here, it just looked awful. It completely washed out. I didn't know how to use the new lighting that I had just gotten. I was on a white background, glossy, so that was all bouncing back. I was framed horribly. I didn't like how I looked on camera. That's a self-esteem thing. And it demoralized me. I didn't want to keep doing this until I could fix those problems, but I didn't have an incentive to fix the problems because to some degree that would mean buying more equipment, and I didn't have that. As a reminder, this is not monetized. And I started doing more and more editing projects because that was something that I had complete control over. It's like I could sit down, take as much time as I needed, didn't have to schedule out an entire afternoon to do the filming. I didn't have to write. I didn't have to research. I didn't have to perform. And it just started getting very comfortable, and I was enjoying the stuff I was making, but it wasn't what other people wanted to see. And that's fine, but I would like people to watch my videos occasionally. And recently I put out one called Look at Me. A few of you might have seen it. Most of you probably didn't. It was very poorly viewed. It's like 70 views, and 5 of them were me. Don't go looking for it now. It's not on the channel anymore for reasons that I'll explain in just a moment. And what I found over time is that I was trying to support 2 channels crammed into one. And the 2 were both pop culture related, but that's where the similarities ended. Occasionally, there would be countdowns in the editing thing, but that was it. And really, this should have been 2 channels, 2 separate channels right from the beginning. And to that end, I have my first announcement, which is Reckoned Opinion has its first sister channel, cleverly titled The Other Reckoned Opinions. The Other Reckoned Opinions is one word. I will stick a link down in the description so you can head over there. That is where I'm going to be putting all of my supercuts and all of my edits, especially the ones that aren't countdown related. I may keep some of the countdown ones here, but in general, all of that's going to head over there. I'm going to start migrating stuff over. Look at Me is already over there. If you're interested in that sort of material, please, by all means, head over there, subscribe, like what's on there. I will hopefully get everything moved over sooner than later. I have to decide what's going over and what's not, but it will all be moved over time. So what does that mean for this channel? What that means is I'm getting back on camera. That's a good chunk of why I'm doing this video right now. And yes, that means the 90s Alternative Countdown is back on. Writing has begun. I am getting really hyped about doing this. I'm excited about doing this for the first time in a long time. And I hope you all will stick around. If you're not subscribed, if you stumbled on this channel for whatever reason, please, hit subscribe, hit a like, stick around, ring that bell, and all that, those other YouTube content creator cliches, all the ones. And I don't know what the time frame is going to be like. I am juggling the rest of my life as we speak, but it is going to happen. Work has already begun, and we're going to keep on with that. And I already know what the next on-screen countdown is going to be. that is already in the works as well. And I also have another episode of Small Answers to Small Questions, which I may include over here because it is semi on camera. It's voiceover, but I'd started that well over a year ago and then abandoned it because I ran into some little snag with it. But I rediscovered it. I'm going to finish it up because it's too good not to. And I'm going to keep on coming. Keep on bringing these things here. And I hope you'll stick around. I really hope you'll enjoy what is to come. If you haven't seen the countdown yet up until now, I will also put a link to the playlist with all 13 episodes on that. Definitely give that a look. One other announcement to make, and this is a sadder one. We had to say goodbye to Marlo the cat recently. Longtime viewers will remember him messing up takes by screaming at me randomly. He appeared on camera once or twice, was thanked in every single credits for every single video in the Countdown series. And he was an old booger, and it was time. And I'm very sorry to see him go. He was a good kitty, and I'm assuming that Editing Adam is putting some pictures up right now. But that is hopefully the only sad thing in this. I am excited about what's coming. I am pleased with the decisions. I am going to get better at this, as continue to improve, fail better, I guess. And thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking by me. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any ideas for future countdown videos that I can do that you would like to see, please put them in the comments. I really want to hear from you guys. And I hope you're all doing well. I will see you again real soon. And until then, take care.